everyone, welcome back to the Talking Mode. I'm Sarah and this is my co-host
Caroline. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we'll be doing another casual, as always, conversation. And this time we will be recapping on our 3 years of high school, the ups and downs, the different lessons that we learned, different successes that we had, and what we will be taking with us moving forward into university. 4 years of university. If you want to learn more about our story or hear we ramble, or if you are entering high school in general, or if you are wanting to enter Kindergarten High School for the Gifted, I think that this video might be a useful advice and useful information for you. Yes, so.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Before we get into the main content for today's episode, like in high school, there's always this invisible hierarchy. Are you popular? You're not popular, but still well known. So in your own self-evaluation, how do you evaluate yourself on that invisible hierarchy?
So personally, I would describe myself as someone who is not very extroverted, because in nature, like I'm not quite confident, to be honest. And so you can be fooled by my appearance and you would say that, oh, she's very talkative. But I can be talkative, but that doesn't mean that I'm I'm extroverted. So that, yeah. And so I wouldn't say that I'm popular. I'm just more of this on a lower scale of popularity. Even though like I know many people, but not many people know of me, or if they know of me, they know that I'm Sarah's best friends, or
come on, that's not true. Like that. That's not true. That's like people do know. I mean,
yeah,
I think
they do know.
Best friend from day one. On the day that we just met.
Yeah, but because like I follow you around, you follow me around, so we are kind of associated with this type of duo. And we also know like if there's Sarah, there's Caroline, and vice versa. And so that's how we are known in the school typically.
And there are times when I drag Caroline to help me not get into
and so there's that aspect. Yeah, but for you, I would say you are popular. You are more on a popular side. Like like let's be honest, like whenever if you hang out with Sarah, and then, like if you walk around the school, and like I kid you not, like every 5 minutes you meet someone that she knows, or she like say hi or something, and I'm like completely opposite.
Some of them because before I work in a position that I have to know a lot of people, but like I'm not popular in terms of what you kind of associate with prom queen, prom king, kind of not that kind of social media and photogenic kind, but I'm more like that person who gives witty remarks about somebody else. I don't go for something that is very kind. I go for something that is opposite, and people kind of remember me because of that. I give people some kind of sassy remarks. There's that. And I think my popularity mostly revolves about people who likes who enjoys a good I don't know, banter or whatever. That's mostly it.
But I would say like we have experienced most of the activities around school, or at least like on the school, you're on campus and stuff. So yeah, I think that we will have a good say about this topic of kind of recapping. But like if you don't find it relatable, I think that just take it as a grain of salt away, because this is our personal experiences at the end of the day. So yeah, regardless of if you're popular or not, I think that you deserve to have a good time in high school regardless. Yeah.
Caroline, throughout 3 years of high school, what was your most memorable memory?
I would say, like, as of now, I think that whenever we are together with our teammates, so we're talking about group, I think that would be my most memorable memory. Like the different times that the first time that we had what's that called, 10th grade festival.
Oh my god, I thought of the same thing too. Hội Dạy Khối 10.
Yeah, Hội Dạy Khối 10. Yeah, that's the same. That's the first time that we kind of hung out together, And then move fast forward to our first ever like music festival, and then our second music festival in 11th grade, and eventually our giải khối 12. Yeah, like every single time that we are together, I think that's because they each has their own kind of distinct memories, if I were to say. And so yeah, but if I have to pick, I think that I would pick the night that we sleep over. We did kind of this sleepover because I think that that's a unique event, because that's the first time that we ever hung out outside of school, you know, because most of the time we only meet each other on school or on Zoom or like something academically related. Even for our projects, even like for our different music festival, it's something that there's something that has to do with school. But our sleepover, that was the first time that I had to, you know, we had fun and not talk about school. And you know, we just had fun basically. And I feel like, yeah, even though like I was very sleepy, but I
You
did
slept
have
the
a good
whole
time.
time. You sleep the whole
Yeah,
time.
because like it's way past my bedtime. We
Basically embrace the word sleep in sleepover party.
yeah, oh my god, it's so fun. Other than that, like the different times that we hung out together, like the time that we built the tent, or the time that we had our last music festival, like our last show on stage on a rainy day.
Well, talking about my most memorable moment in high school is gotta be the time when, you know, we were at the auditorium on our last day, you know, officially as well, soon to be alumni. We were at the auditorium and we watched a around 15-minute video showcasing 13 classes, right? Like in our year. And so despite the fact that we were very angry, we were upset at that our class only got, you know, we're there for only 4 seconds. But you know how time really, I know in just a matter of time, people just burst into tears because no matter how much we were angry about it, but then the moment came when we have to say goodbye. And I think that at the time when everyone just burst into tears, I don't instantly feel, you know, I don't instantly, like, tears just don't, it just didn't come out of my eyes. And I was like, I just asked myself, is this supposed to be the time when I cry? Um, is it like, you know, I just asked different questions because whenever something bad happened and it's becoming like a ritual for you to cry. And so I did not cry, like, but instead I just take a really good look at everyone, each and everyone in the auditorium. I looked at that guy that I briefly knew from a project last year, to that girl who, you know, who we who we barely talked, but you know, we somehow, well, end up in the same class. I know for 3 years, and I don't know, it's just really weird. I just stood there and I just looked at each and every one of them, giving hugs, and you know, it's weird. It's a weird feeling. It's like, and it's amazing too how compared to the first day of school where it's where we started, you know, it's where we first met everyone in the auditorium, how we were just stranger. But you know, at 3 years later we hugged and we made promises, and it's nice. I think that it's a memory that I'll bring to the future whenever whenever I miss my class or my school, you know, feeling nostalgic about the whole high school experience. Yeah.
I was about to say that, like, I did have the feeling the same as yours, but on the last celebration that we had, I had dinner and stuff. Yeah, I did take a look around and I tried to remember that moment, you know, how Baba were on the stage and Minh Ngọc were hugging each other, and then you were sitting across from the table and, you know, absorbing everything, because I know that that's basically the last time that we could be together, like fully, like 34 members of the class. And it's so sad, like you mentioned about how in the first day of class, I still remember that awkward feeling of like literally like silence in class where nobody talked. Like it was literally like a church or like a prison. Now that we've gone through all of that, and even though like I wouldn't say our class is the most kind of united, is the most vibrant, is the most well-known class on the campus, but I think that we are special in the sense that we are like that, you know, because we are not like that, and so that's why we're special. That's why we are unique, because of our dividedness. That sounds so rude, but like I truly believe that.
It's like when I looked at everyone and I feel like, so we were enemy. So we were, basically we don't like each other. But at the end of the day, we promised that, next class reunion, well, our first reunion will always be there. It's like when you are at the start of something and you make a checklist, like, okay, in 3 years, make sure that you're gonna cry at the last day of school year. Because these person that you see here today, they're gonna be your family. It's accomplished. So it's like a sense of achievement too. How it's just all like, whoa, we're not just classmates, but it's becoming an integral part in your life, and that, yeah, it's just really strange. It's like a ritual.
Yeah, it's
But
become a habit, right? Like meeting everyone at class, saying hello to, Viong next to me, or like just saying hello to everybody now that we cannot do that anymore. It's strange. Literally, like strange. Because on the last day of class, like when we still wear uniform, we go around, we sign on our shirts and stuff. Like I take a look around and I see everybody like still playing, still chatting, and I just like cannot imagine that we will not have that next year and many years but after that.
yeah, totally different, because like the regular, hey, the regular, oh, you're late. It's
Yeah.
becoming, it's something that you overlooked, but then at the end of the day, it's something that you remember most. Moving on to question number 2.
Okay.
What was your biggest lesson?
So this is a very general question, very big topic, because I think that I have learned a lot, obviously, like many other people, throughout my 3 years of high school, of literally, literally having to do everything at the same time, multitasking, and yeah, I like now looking back, I was amazed that I could do that, like being a student full time, having a club, an organization, participating in debate competition, and literally like doing the talking mode throughout my 1 year of senior year. And so like that was so amazing, and now I don't have that energy anymore. And so I would say like the biggest lesson that I've learned was the lesson of time management, and really like even though I was busy, there were many projects, I still learned the lesson of prioritizing myself and my own needs, like setting boundaries of sleeping early, and turning down different projects, and literally like not being ashamed of taking care of myself, because I think that there is this kind of toxic misconception that being a student means that you need to hustle all the time, you have to stay up late, you have to stay up late until like 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning just so that you are qualified as good student. And I think that's not like wrong, and it's not practical, and it's not healthy. And I personally like have done okay in high school, and I don't have to stay up that late. And of course like I missed out on certain I don't know, talk show, I missed out on certain hangouts with my friends, but I think that's for my best. And because like if I were to do that, then my mental health would like go absolutely crazy. And that's the biggest lesson that I've learned, was to time manage but also prioritize myself as well. So yeah.
So I guess that's amazing, because I think that being a high school student, just that it's tiring already, but also at a specialized high school, the pressure is higher and there's more expectation, people on you, And so I guess that being able to just navigate yourself through all that times, it's amazing. It's a really big lesson that you can apply to in higher education. And as for me, I think I also learned time management, but like the biggest lesson that I have to say is knowing where you want to go. Because basically when you're in that environment, you are surrounded by talented people. They are all amazing and they all have, special skills. This person has, a knack for photography. This person had a knack for debate and stuff like that. And in all of that, when you're surrounded by these people, sometimes you are peer pressured into basically trying out everything. And so that just basically wastes your time. But instead of that, you sit down and really reflect on what are your strengths and how you're going to maximize your potential. Personally, at this age, being a teenager, you kind of want to do everything too. You want to hawk everything. You want to, have achievement in all of the field, basically being well-rounded, holistic, and all kinds. But it's really easy to get lost at the end of the day because you just don't know who you are anymore. Because you're basically chasing this glamour or whatever, someone else doing something, and you just feel like it's like feeling FOMO. You feel of missing out, and then sometimes you just go after someone else's, dreams and whatever. So I guess that all in all, the biggest lesson that I've learned is learning what my strengths are and focus on what I'm good at instead of just, chasing everyone's dreams and their special talents or whatever.
But sometimes, do you think that we are privileged to be able to know that, to identify the path that we want to go down? Because I know that some people, they have a problem with that, with identifying what their needs and their strengths are.
It's a talk that I've had before. It's like when you're a better condition, you have choices. Basically you have a lot of choices. But when you're not privileged, basically your parents can afford you an education like that. That's it, nothing more. And sometimes your choices are very narrow. But I guess that even though that you have a small like selection of choices, you can still find ways to really maximize your potential, because sometimes it's not some problem with money, I guess. I hope. I don't know.
Or like if you can't find something that kind of suits you, then create one, create opportunities that are catered to your needs. Like with the talking mode, like when we first started, we literally had no one to look up to. Like we had no example that had been set before us. So we are basically like the first thing that was started. And so we just kind of follow our gut and know that where we're heading is beneficial to us and to the people watching us. So like we mentioned in the last episode about how many people would talk about, some of our videos, some of our content, even some of our opinions, they might find them offensive and kind of insulting. But I feel like, we don't do anything wrong, right?
So I feel like if you believe that you can do it and you truly want it, your motivation is big enough. Then it's one of the most important thing. It's not money, because you can have a pile of money, and the thing is, when you have everything, you kind of lose the motivation because you think that you can just do it anytime. But if you just make do with whatever you have, then it's better and it's fun.
Yeah, and also I think that the biggest lesson that youths have to learn is the lesson of self-worth, because as you say, like we are surrounded by so many talented people. Like walking around on High School for the Gifted, like I meet so many people that are extremely intelligent, who have many certificates, who are richer, who are better, who are more intelligent than I am. But I think that we shouldn't be afraid, or we shouldn't be scared because they are more intelligent than us. Because people have their strengths and their weaknesses, and I think that you need to know what your strengths are, so that you will not feel insecurities, at least on the level of intelligence, or at least on the level of accomplishment, because I feel like being a student is an accomplishment itself. And I feel like many people are afraid to speak up because they are insecure. about their level of intelligence. So take this for example, when we attend like debate competition, for example, like there are many schools that were known for debate, right? But we just we don't feel the need to be scared, and obviously we still look up to them, we still try to improve, but we just don't let our insecurities be in the way of us successing and achieving the trophy.
I think like being intimidated by someone else's, achievements, it's normal because it's feel like, whoa, that guy got everything and that guy's here and I'm just here. I feel like it's normal to feel that way, but like Caroline, I think I've learned this from you a lot, is that you don't really care others people. That's the thing. That's the one thing that I truly love about you. It's that, whenever we talk about someone, it's like, she doesn't care. Like, well, so what? So what? And we just move on, Okay, so you acknowledge someone else's achievements and move on. That's it. Do not compare yourself. Do not do the whole analyze, oh, what if and this like that. It's crazy. And likely you're not gonna get anything in the end.
Yeah, instead of like using your energy to try to compare yourself to other, maybe use that energies on focusing on yourself and improving yourself. That's a hard truth that we are not gonna sugarcoat anything, but I think like if you can learn that, then it will be very beneficial moving forward, because I think that in college you will meet like even more people who are talented than you if you plan to study abroad like we do, or if you stay in Vietnam.
Yeah, because think about it, if people are trying to be like together, there will be no Bill Gates, there will be no Jeff Bezos, because they're just well known for one thing. That's it. So find that one thing in your life. Find a spike. It's like, I don't know why, but at this point I feel like I'm giving a guidance on writing personal.
We're literally giving like TED Talks here. But yeah, that's what we learned. Like we learned it the hard way. I learned it the hard way because I used to compare myself to literally every single person around me, even Sarah. Because but I realized that she has her own strengths and I have my own strengths, and there's no need in comparing ourselves because we are literally two different people. We come from two different families and stuff. So if you want to compare something, it needs to be equivalent to an extent, So yeah.
So basically comparison only works in numbers and math and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna human. Okay.
Okay.
Next questions in today's episode is, tell us 3 adjectives to describe your high school and why.
So I like this one because I came up with this question. But my 3 adjectives would be busy, hard, and life-changing. There's a hyphen, so that's one word. The reason why I chose busy was because it was very busy. Like I mentioned, having to juggle around being multiple different positions at the same time was very hard. And even though like I did learn to kind of time manage and multitask and go around all of those, sometimes it was very overwhelming to be literally doing like planning out a media campaign while I was having an exam season, literally doing and all of that. It was very hard for me, and that's why I chose busy. And hard was because my high school years taught me a lot of things, because entering high school, I was a complete different person from who I am now. I was shy. I didn't know what I want to do with my life. I wasn't sure about if I could be able to study abroad or not. And back then, it was all I have. Like being a student is literally my only identity. But throughout my high school years, I developed other identity, like being a good friend or being a co-host to the Talking Mall or being a debater, being like multiple different positions. And yeah, it was very, very hard, but very life-changing. And that's why I chose life-changing, because I met amazing people, toxic people as well. But like because of those toxic people, I learned the lesson of friendship and setting boundaries, and just knowing how to choose your own people, your own tribe. And even though at the moment my tribe consists of Sarah and only her, but I hope to like expand that tribe in the future, because I've learned, because I I had a very difficult experience with friendship in middle school. I got not betrayal, but like my friend, my best friend back then, she wasn't a very healthy person. She was very bad girl kind of situation going on. She would, invite me to go to all of the different not very appropriate events and stuff. And so I was kind of swayed a little bit, but that's why I kind of raised my standards of choosing my friends. And so even though now my circle is very small, I prioritize quality over quantity. And because of that, I received many life-changing experiences from the different debate competition, awards, certificates, but also above it all, like memories and lessons that completely changed who I am. Yeah, bit of emotional, but I think, yeah, I describe it well. What about you?
Wait, hang on. Before I got picked by Caroline's high standard.
Yeah.
You know,
You
like
should be proud.
I am proud.
I should be
Very
proud too. Yeah.
It's like we're becoming more and more selective as we get older because we feel it's like we treasure more, basically all people and things that are more close to us, not like superficial and all the fun.
And we're not afraid to be selective.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just like that. I try to look up. They give me a bunch of words, but I have to filter half of them because they're basically swearings and stuff. And so I think, yeah, a lot of more swearings. You don't know what you're gonna find on the internet. But I guess the first word that comes to mind is gonna be safe. High school, even with all its dramas, gossips, I think it is one of the safest place. Come to think about it, high school right now, it's just you have fun, have friends, you have tests, exams, whatever. But that's pretty much it, Even if you fail, you're still there. Everyone's gonna still support you. That stuff depends. But from my experience, I just think that at least it's a place that I think that there's this amazing people and I have this really safe environment to do whatever I like, to host a workshop in my club, or to with Caroline to participate in competitions, and it's just a very safe environment all in all compared to what I'm going to face in the next few years of my life.
It's not a life and death situation, and we can always have a second chance. If you fail a test, you will have another test. Or if you your kind of startup club fail, you can always start a new club. But in real life, it's not like that. If you start a company and you fail, you would bear the consequences of losing profits and stuff. So I get what you're saying.
And I guess that word, it's not very commonly heard in schools in the US, or at least high school and somewhere else, because I don't know, but most of the time when I met someone, like I met a lot of teachers, American teachers, and they said that how come Vietnamese teenagers are so nice? They basically just asked me that, and I don't really know what to answer because we're just like that. I mean, generally, how we are very welcoming, people and stuff like that, especially foreigners. And they just said, high school in the States are a nightmare. Okay. I don't know about that, but here it's basically just this. Still alive after 3 years. So that must be proof for something. Second adjective, I think you're gonna like it. It was spontaneous. You don't know the amount of spontaneity that we have to put up with in Chennai here. It's every day you learn something new. I think also with the talking mode, we're kind of embrace that, spontaneous vibe too. We have this whole schedule, but it's just there for fun. The minute that you finish that Google Sheet, that Google Docs, you went straight on to Messenger and text about the time of the day. Hey, you up for it? No? Okay, tomorrow then. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much high school.
I agree. Spontaneous is, yeah, because you are more of a spontaneous compared to like myself. I'm not very spontaneous, only with like when I'm with you. then I'm spontaneous, like with the talking mode and with many of our plans and stuff. Like I'm spontaneous that way. But with my daily lives, you know that I have a whole to-do list, and I like to plan my day, and I like for things to go according to plan, and that's just my nature. But I know that because the reason why I can be spontaneous with sharing, because I know that we will be able to meet the deadline. We are just like that. Like we will meet the deadline, like even to the last minute, and that's who we are.
And the last word, I think it's gonna be awkward, and Caroline knows this best. I don't know how many times I find myself in such awkward situations. Either I cause it or someone else brought it to me. I pride myself to be a straightforward person, but in situations that involves romantic relationship or basically just relationship, I'm very, I basically bolt the questions. The minute that I realize I could weasel my way out of it, then I just do it. So yes, if you ever met me outside and want to ask something that is emotionally related or there's an ounce of emotions in it, then just, think twice, because I'm not good about talking about them. So yes, that's it.
Okay, and we will not be going too deep into that because that would not be good.
That will not be good. That exactly.
So my last question for you is, what is your one advice for people who will be entering their last year of high school, or for people who will be entering high school next year?
I think I'm gonna give an advice for someone who's gonna enter high school next year. It's because I have a cousin and Caroline has a brother who's attending high school next year. And I just want to say that be humble. At least be humble. I've learned the hard way that it's really hard to really absorb something new when you think that you know everything. It's a mindset that sometimes you just find yourself in, and there's a lot to take in high school. And when you stay humble, then there's ways for you to reflect. It's easier to reflect, and it's easier to accept your mistakes. So yeah, number one advice, be humble.
I agree. No matter if you enter a specialized school like in a year, or if you just enter other schools, or just in any other like public settings, like be humble and be kind, because you never know who you will meet. Right. And that's an excellent advice. My advice for my brother next year is, I think, to work hard towards your dreams. And I know that it's kind of cliche to say this, but I think that there are no dreams that could be big. I think that, yeah, just think big, dream big, and as big as you want it to be. You could dream of becoming the next trillionaire or something. And I believe that that's possible as long as you work hard. And I have, talking from experience, I have witnessed some of my dreams come true just because I believe in them. And so no matter what other people tell you, no matter how people belittle your dreams, so you have to believe in them first, because like Sarah said, motivation should come from within, and we should have intrinsic motivation. Yeah.
Why does that
Literally every single story like involves intrinsic motivation. But literally, like intrinsic motivation, if you learn how to master it, it will serve you good this 3 years of high school. And I think that be humble and work hard, you will come out as a whole new person with skills, knowledge, intelligence, and dignity. Yeah.
Whoa.
Dignity.
And one advice for those who's gonna enter the last year of high school, I just say embrace it. Do all the things that you thought you would never be able to pull it off. Just try. I mean, it's amazing. If you have a bucket list full of weird things to do, just do it anyway, because if now's not the time, then when? Basically. Yeah, do it.
Like if you are to leave, then leave on a good note, right? Live with live with accomplishment, live with dignity, live with pride that you have accomplished some of your weirdest dreams, like us. Like we didn't even think that we would have a YouTube channel, but now it's still running. And so just do it. Don't be scared. Don't have this pressure of, you know, people looking up to you. Just as long as you don't kill anybody, or as long as you don't do anything say shady, then it's fine, you know. It's yeah.
Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah.
If you have time, then just brainstorm for your yearbook quotes and yearbook photos, you know?
Yes. Yes. And also, good luck on your essays. I know that everybody needs to write essays. Oh my God, I dreaded it the most in my last year of high school, essays. Oh my God, literally nightmare. I wish you nothing but the best. Oh, it makes me sad that I'm an alumni now. Oh my God.
Well, every journey has an end.
Yeah.
Well, we leave out a lot of cliches, but you know, cliches there for a reason.
For a reason. Oh, but gold. Okay. But one more note, we are class 13 CA3.
So yes, if you ever wanted to find us, you know, or look for us in history of yearbooks, then we are CA3-1922.
Forever
Say-
1922.
Saying that in English is so weird. Oh my God.
Oh my God, 1922 nha mọi người, CA3 1922. Wish you the best of luck.
That's a wrap. Hope it brings you, you know, helpful information,
Yes.
or, you know, prepares you for high school. And that's it. So until next time, stay tuned,
Stay safe
and
stay awesome.
stay awesome.